What's going on, y'all? Here at my part-time job, just chilling, and you know, had to do some had to do some thinking. You know, what I'm saying, you sitting here doing nothing, sitting on the lot, basically babysitting the lot, chilling, nothing to do, and I just thinking about, I'm in, like I say, I always say I'm in Atlanta, and dealing with the some of the strikes down here, and just thinking about some of the chicks that I tried to date, and I always say, like, Atlanta, half the chicks in Atlanta are gay, just like the dudes. Like the women out here always tell you, "Oh, well, I don't date in Atlanta," and I always tell men here, if you are here, don't date to get married and have kids, because half the chicks here are just as gay as the dudes. Don't do that. They're the horror stories, and I think of the chicks that I've dealt with, and there's one in particular. We had a connection, and we work at the same job, and the feeling I got was, she wasn't straight, and she deals with guys, and she deals with them, and she wants kids. She's Jamaican or whatever, and she wants children, but she wasn't straight. So, adding to that collateral damage series, I want to tell y'all a couple of stories where the men were just used for their resources, pretty much point blank. The first story, which is near and dear to my heart, is one of my kids that I trained. I'm a coach, and I trained him, and you know, he was a kind of a blue-pilled individual. Dad, mom, dad together. Dad was a bit of a simp, caker, like to bake cakes for the females. Dealt with them, had kids on the outside of his wife. His dad was, I guess you could sort of call him an alpha, sort of. But his mom stayed with his dad regardless of the outside child. And I guess she's a bit old fashioned in the understanding that when she understood that men sow their oats regardless. So she stayed with him. Rather than break up the family, she had kids with this man, and they stayed together. But he was raised in this sort of household. He ends up growing up inexperienced. Goes out here in the world, finds one of the girls, thinks he has a diamond and whatever. Come to find out, this chick doesn't even like men. What you say? Yes, something the PUA coaches don't tell you about. Not something they don't, when they're trying to give you all this game and dating and, oh yeah, you say this to a chick, and they don't account to this, for this deviation in the equation, as I call it. So you got these inexperienced guys are now being taken for all they got, not by just regular gold diggers, but you got actual lesbians. And we can't even call them bisexual, because at the end of the day, they're lesbian because all they used a man for was procreation and resources. So they come over to our side, and he came over to meet my one of the kids I trained, and he's inexperienced, so he gets married, has kids, and all of a sudden the sex stops completely. He's like, look at him, he's sitting here with his dick in his hand, he says, and he's just kind of angry, So of course he goes out and cheats, and she's cheating. She's cheating with chicks, and the marriage dissolves, and he's looking up, and he's like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" He's trying to figure out. He tells me, and like I said, she's dealing with women on the side. She doesn't even like men, and then he's now they're going to the divorce, and luckily for him, she's not as stable as most females. She's somewhere else, moved to another state. he has custody of the kids, but he still has that blue pill, and he kind of needs a woman because he has children. So when he goes to work, he needs somebody to babysit the kids. So I can't get front on him for that. Also, another story: guy, well-to-do, making six figures, gets married. This guy's making probably 150,000. He's in the music industry. He's a music producer. He gets married, has three kids, and the daughter tells this story because she was friends with the female, so she knew the girl was a lesbian. Knew it. Making six figures, and basically had the kids, got married, and woke up one day and it was over. Got divorced. He's out of the house. Guess who's in his house? Her girlfriend with his kids. And he leaves roughly almost 60,000 of his income with her and her girlfriend and his kids. Are you serious? Is this what we're dealing with these days? So not only are you dealing with gold diggers, but you got to be able to discern if your girl really likes dudes. And this is a scary thing. I've dated, four of my ex-girlfriends are bisexual, so it's not that big of a deal. I wasn't ever having kids, so it was not really a big deal to me. Some guys take offense to this, but I'll take a cue from Donovan Sharp on this. I wouldn't, so fucking what if she deals with a chick? I'm not. It's totally different from, an act of a man, going inside of her for me. Because I'm not getting married. I'm not having children. So if I had a chick that I was dealing with, regularly deal with chicks, it's like whatever for me. I'm not even, I don't really care. But if you're a man and you're serious and you're still blue pilled out here taking these chicks serious, and this could pose a problem to you. And you need to understand, you are just collateral damage. They don't give a fuck about you. I had a friend used to tell me they call them big game hunters. And I used to listen to a guy on the radio. He used to be like, did Neil Bortz. Neil Bortz used to stay there, lugs, lesbians until graduation. But in the real world out here, in the dating world, we'll call them lesbians until resource match. You know what I'm saying? Or resource extraction. And when they find that right guy that they're going to extract resources, they're not lesbian anymore. They're coming through to get yours. You got to make a nice, and sometimes it ain't even the guy that's high on the totem pole. They just want a babe, and they see a guy that's, he's structured. He has a job. I had a guy I could work with, and I mentioned this subject to him, and his face frowned up. This guy is 54 years old. Mr. East, I'll call him. Mr. East met a girl, 38, A lot of these 50-year-olds, they're very inexperienced to the new goings on out here in the dating world. And basically, Mr. East just got out here and just sold his still thinking he thought sowing his raw oats, but basically had a child with a chick that doesn't like dudes. So now his check is he's taking care of his child, but all she really wanted was a child and some more resources. She doesn't like men. Once again, this is happening more than you know, because I'm just the guy telling you about it, but I'm sure there are more guys out here that are suffering with this right now. And I'll never forget, I was looking at I think it was Judge Hatchett, Judge Hatchett, and this poor guy, older guy, did the same thing. And he's talking about how this girl took him to the cleaners, and you looking over at her, and she has a tie just like he has on. It is sad because I know this chick had some, I guess, studly inclinations when he met her. And because the older generation of men do not know the social cues or the masculine traits in a female. They can't understand it, so they miss it altogether. All they know is she has a vagina. So, it doesn't matter that she puts on pants and she kind of dresses dudeish. He's in the bed with a woman. So he's 55 and he busting that nut, and and this guy had resources. This guy, well, another guy, in the business. I think he was like in the movies or whatever, just low level guy, but still out here busting nuts. And that goes back to the guys. There is no pullout method. We got to get over that shit. We got to get out of that thought process. Oh yeah, my pullout method is no. It's called pre-cum, bro. It's called pre-cum. We got to have control of everything. If you're a man in this system, you treat your semen like it was gold. Guess what? Gold, if you got it, you're making money off of it because it's retaining value. But if you sell your gold, i.e. give it away, somebody else is making money on it. So your gold, you need to treat your semen, you need to treat it like gold. If you keep it, you make money on it. But if somebody else gets it, somebody else makes money on it. They make money because it's your gold. They make money off of you. So they get to take your gold and basically milk you like a cow. There is no pull-out method, guys, because even if you pull out, you might get some gifts that keep on giving. Hey, herpes and, some of these cases of gonorrhea and chlamydia that ain't curable. So I need you guys to get out of that whole idea of pull-out method. And there is a such thing as pre-cum. So don't think, oh, yeah, man, I pulled out and she still got pregnant. Dog, it doesn't matter. And if you're in freaking Straglanta, your ass better not be using a pull-out method in the fucking hot zone. We got more AIDS cases than anybody in the nation damn near. There is no pull-out method in Atlanta, no matter how good she look. Strap the fuck up. Strap up. I ain't 42 with no kids because I'm fucking, I used a pull-out method. I strapped the fuck up. Because number one, I'm germophobic with the jewels. I don't play games with that. There's no need for you to play games with your jewels, period, point blank. You know what I'm saying? Those family jewels are yours. That's why they call them family jewels. Again, you goddamn give those jewels away, somebody else is making money off your fucking jewels. So, once again, we're back at the whole thought processes, treating your semen is irrespective of your wealth. And like I said, collateral damage, like I said, your ass is really, they're looking for a dummy. And I got scoped out one time when I was a butcher. I used to be a butcher. And when I think back, there was a chick, we talked and had some things going on. And I think I'm lucky because I was young then and I didn't know. I would have been in that thing trying to hit it or whatever. And this chick comes in one day, she's talking and we're having discussions. And I remember I got her number, but next thing I know, I see her and this chick come in the store and I'm like, they probably were together. And when I think back, they were probably lesbian lovers. Because one of the chicks was studly, type of mannish. And I was just being scoped to see if I was going to be their next victim. Yes, fellas. And if there are ladies listening, yeah. There are women that, are out here, they want a kid. And, dummies dumb enough to skeet, yeah. But usually now the new game these days is, like I say, there's even a couple of basketball players with chicks like this. They're cute, and these chicks are lesbian, and they meet these basketball players, and bam, you know what I'm saying? I don't even have to work for the rest of my life. What's that term 50 Cent say? Have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire. Have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire. So that's just on the upper echelon dealing with dudes, lesbians until resource extraction. So, fellas, down here on the bottom, all you $50,000, $30,000 fellas, if you ain't making that high dollar of money, you need to goddamn be, conserving your seed, man. You need to be thinking about what the fuck you're doing out here. Understanding, I mean, that first child, okay, if you had it, all right, that's my first mistake. But that freaking raw dog and shit, that's going to cost you everything in this new economy. Going back to, and some of you guys that have been out ain't even been working, so y'all still, some of you cats are still busting nuts and just having fun. It ain't fun. And it ain't gonna be fun when you ain't counting your check. You ain't getting no money. You get your check and they tell you missing half your check and you wondering what the fuck is going on. Let me tell you, I got a cousin. My cousin got 11 children. My cousin used to go to work and get a $50 check. You know what he do now? He lay bricks. He don't go to nobody's job. He was at Kroger for a hot minute. And he don't go to nobody's job. Got another friend on the job, just irresponsible. He told me about his situation. I had 4 kids, man. I had a business. I was lucky. He still went to work. Guess what? Got a $24 check. He had 4 kids. Why? For what? Why are you going out here busting all these nuts for what? And I get it. Some guys are young and they're irresponsible. But fellas, also, if you meet guys out here that are doing this nonsense, man, pull them back. Just say something to them. It ain't about, getting chicks no more, man. We're talking about losing your whole life for years, setting your whole life back years because you're making irresponsible moves. You need to wait. Strap up, put that condom on, man, because there's new sharks in the ocean. And they're really just here for your seed and your resources. They're not really here for you at all. All right, folks, that's part 1 of my collateral damage. Collateral damage, part 1.